Well, hello everyone. Happy Thursday night. I'm Tia Knapp, and I'm thrilled to pieces to be here to share our wonderful words of wisdom from Dr. Michael Gross, who happens to be right here. Say hi, Michael.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm really excited. Thank you.
We have a powerful message for you today, but first I'll do a quick introduction of Dr. Michael Gross for anyone who is new and here for the first time. Dr. Michael Gross is a professional keynote speaker, energy transformational coach, entrepreneur, and the author of The Spiritual Primer, applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, in order to experience your true source's joy and happiness and love. He helps you to achieve an unlimited life. For over 30 years, Dr. Michael Gross has been a spiritual teacher, a multidimensional healer, a transformational coach who is exceptionally skilled at all aspects of soul, oversoul, vibrations, frequencies, body timing, life force energies, and so much more. Dr. Michael Gross holds many degrees, some of which include a doctorate of alternative healing psychology. He's a Reiki master teacher, a thought field therapist, certified professional hypnotherapist, and a non denominational minister. Michael offers workshops including reconnecting to God, the true source, cellular release, manifestation protocols, energy multidimensional healing, enlightenment, and many others. He's also an international my goodness, intuitive consultant for corporations and has traveled over half the world. His clients are in USA, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Asia, and other countries, and his messages are now even being heard in the Baltic countries, Sweden, and South Korea. Dr. Michael Gross has also formed a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, which I hope will have a few minutes that you can share a little bit more about that. I will be putting Dr. Michael Gross's contact information in the comments. And if you have questions, you're welcome to leave them in the comments too, and I'll ask him. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the most incredible man I know, Dr. Michael Gross. I'm thrilled to have him here with us tonight.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Everyone, I appreciate you joining us. And for those who are watching this at a later date, thank you. As many of you know, I never really know what I'm going to be discussing. And that's because I never really plan. And very rarely do I know. And usually, Tia will give me a call and say, all right, what are we going to be talking about? And it's usually 3 minutes or half an hour before come up with the subject. And so what I would like to talk to all of you about is that living in the chaos right now, the energy of the planet, and it's so incredibly chaotic, I guess is the word, and mixed up. And so I wish to share with you that we have to be able to function in the energy of this planet. Those of us who are listening to me in the United States, this is the year of the elections coming up, but all over the countries, and some I visited, some I haven't, there seems to be a lot of uncertainty, a lot of chaos, a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. And there is so many opinions, this and that, and so on. And so I can only liken it to what I read about the Civil War, how brother was against brother and family against family, they're opinionated. And this is happening in almost all the countries. And of course, if we go back to the Revolutionary War, where we had the Patriots versus the Tories, the Patriots wanted to break away from England, Tories were pro King George. And the energy on the planet is coming into function, shall we say, into a power of energy that is increasing throughout this year, next year, and even to the year after for several years. This energy and frequency and vibration is causing us to lose our gift of discernment, losing our gift of critical thinking, and losing our gift to understand what is correct. And we know well, most of the political nature, and no matter what party is speaking, they always make promises, and sometimes they can't keep the promises or they don't. We also have to realize that whatever is going on, how do we ride the wave of discontentment? How do we find harmony and balance in it? The first thing I would say to all of you, it is great to be informed, but when you're glued to whatever TV or radio or social media or whatever is coming on, and you're glued to it, then you're losing all perspective. So information is great and wonderful, but if you're glued to it, realize it's somebody's opinion, and they're only going to say what they want to say or take excerpts from another person, but not the whole story. And if you followed any of this at all, you realize that we're not getting the true story. And one of the most beautiful revelations this year, 2024, is this is the year of karma and the year of truth being told. And karma means the point you get to heal, release all the things that are blocking you so that you can have a happy and joyous life. And there was a something posted on the news, and that was where Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Meta Universe or Facebook and Instagram, said he was stymied, coerced, and pushed by the Biden administration, the government, to block out certain things on Facebook, on Instagram, not discuss certain things involving all political things in the COVID vaccine and virus, and the doctors who were talking about that. So I want you to understand, I'm not making a political statement. What I am saying is this is very powerful because we realize at this time where our voice must be strong in our beliefs. So, what are your beliefs? Separate your beliefs. And what I'm saying is not politically, but what is best for the world you live in? What is really best? What is exciting? What brings love and joy and happiness? We have to be able to search within ourselves and listening to our thoughts of our soul what is truly what we have to follow, believe in, and change our lives. Now, all of us are here to make a difference, every one of us. And I applaud all of you because these are not even times. They're not easy times at all. They're very imbalanced times. And also, these are the times where I was told part of my mission and goal is for all of us to realize that each one of us are the solution. We are making a difference and can make a difference. And at the same time, to reconnect with the true source, or if you prefer God, the true source, which is synonymous, and also to do our spiritual mission and goals. And what has happened is we're being distracted by all the chaos. If you wish to listen to all the news or what's going on, ask for the gift of discernment to understand fact from fiction, whether it's somebody's opinion. You know, we all have opinions. You know, you might go out to the restaurant and say, best steak or best Asian food I've ever had or best Italian food. Another person would say, oh, it's quite terrible. I don't like it. Well, they're entitled to their opinion, and you can agree to disagree. On the other hand, if a restaurant, let's say, is rated Michelin 4 star, 5 star, are you being pre-sold, what's the word I want to use? The word is pre-confused or pre-oriented to think a certain way, so that,
Pre-programmed?
pardon me,
Could it be pre-programmed?
pre-programmed to realize if it's Michelin 5 star, then it's going to be great and wonderful. Well, I will tell you, I've eaten in Michelin 3 star and 4 stars. They were good, but not that great because I had a gift of discernment. But maybe that's my palate, and somebody have palates is different. And I'll tell you a little funny story. So I was at this Michelin 3 or 4 star rated restaurant, and the dinner I was having was very French. And I tasted it, and I said, "Gee, can I have a little bit more salt?" Well, the waiter got offended, and and the chef came out, and he was offended because it was seasoned perfectly. So everybody with me were laughing, and I was kind of chuckling, and I said, "I'm sorry I offended you," and I just let it go, because I know chefs are kind of particular and proud of what they do, and they should be proud. And that's the other point I want to bring out. Everything you do in your life, you should feel secure and happy and proud. Whether you painted a room, you cleaned the house, you washed the car, you made somebody laugh, you went out to dinner. We have to find those little things in our life that bring us joy and happiness. And it's the little things in life that bring us joy and happiness. because it changes our moods, our energies, and vibrations. So many times when I'm shopping in a store, I'll go to the clerk and say, "You got a great smile," or "I like that shirt," or "It's a pretty blouse," or whatever. And they go, "Thank you." And I made their day. What did I say? Just one little thing. But think about how sensitive we become. And we're so sensitive, you go, well, that's a cool shirt. What do you mean by that? Right away, they're defensive. Well, I just meant it's a cool shirt. It's nice. But you see what happens? We have lost our ability of understanding discernment and differentiating positive and negative. And it's very easy to say, "Oh, do you like this shirt that you compliment me?" "Yeah, I like it." "Oh, that's cool." All right. Or just a simple thank you. We are so on guard right now of anything someone says that I've noticed people that I've talked to are focusing on the negative. "Well, it's nice to see you playing here." "Well, what do you mean by that? Didn't you like me before?" This is the responses I'm hearing. So how can we change this energy? How can we change the vibrations? And first of all, you have to know that you are made out of energy. And I've talked about this before: atoms, particles, molecules, neutrinos. More importantly, every word has a frequency and energy and vibration and affects your body. So if I say you look beautiful today or you got a great smile, you perk up and you feel good. Or if I say, well, you have an interesting smile, what does that mean? You get a frown on your face. Why don't you compliment me? And maybe in your languaging, interesting means it's really nice or beautiful. So we have to understand our languaging. More importantly, it comes down to your self worth, self love, and self esteem. You are here because you are here to make a difference. You are here to learn about emotions. You're here to learn about creating a life of love and joy and happiness. Nobody can create that for you. We can be vehicles to help you create it, but only you can. I can give you $10 and you go, "That's it, $10? That's all?" Other people, $10. Boy, I can go out and have a hamburger. I can go out and get a couple of 1 or 2 gallons of gas, or 2.5 gallons of gas wherever you live, but that's pretty good. And then it goes back to the glass half full or half empty all the time. What if you take a look and say, hey, there's chaos going on. I ask the true source for discernment to determine fact from fiction, to understand how it applies to me, so I can see the truth behind this. That's so important. What if you practice that? You know what will happen? As you ask this, it'll take a few minutes. Then more quickly, you'll get an answer and you get a revelation. You'll understand it. And we have to discern, differentiate, separate the ego, edging God out. The ego is self-satisfying. It can be sabotaging. It can tell you whether you can do a thing or you can't. But the truth of the matter is, what you think what you create, you experience. Who's in charge here? You are. Who can make a difference? You can make a difference. Who can bring love and joy and happiness? You can. Who can bring pain? You can. And there's so many beautiful things that we have to understand. And most people will get bling, and I like bling as well as everybody else, and our fancy cars or whatever. But we have to learn to respect the person. Are they worthy? Are they telling this truth? Are they really sincere? And is their direction in life is something that I can learn from? That's the key word: learn. Be able to learn from one another, to discern from one another, and to understand if this person is saying this or that, they're probably very passionate, but they may have tunnel vision and they can only see the forest for the trees. Sound familiar? So somebody will say something, but we don't look at things far reaching. I remember I had a dear friend of mine, and she was talking about, well, these greedy corporations. She went on and on and on and on. He said, well, yeah, some of them are greedy, but tell me, how much do you think your car would cost if it was made by hand? She wouldn't answer me. Then I said, where are your retirement funds are when you retire? I think they're in stocks and bonds and corporation stocks. And she wouldn't answer me. So there are two sides to every story. And I understand that. So are some of the corporations greedy? Yeah. But on the other hand, many of them, not all of them, many of them made life easier. You wouldn't have the computers you have today. You wouldn't even have AI or robotics, or you may not have the washing machine or the dishwasher or things like that. If corporations and businesses didn't conceive ideas and things and happenings, and you wouldn't have your computer today. You might be using the typewriter and the old adding machine with a big handle that you pull back and forth. All these things would happen. So corporations serve a purpose. And there's double taxation in the United States, which means that when the corporation makes a profit, they're taxed. You as a stockholder, you get the benefit of their profits and you're taxed again. So there's benefits to everything. But we have to look at with the gift of discernment, what is it that brings us love and joy and happiness? And that's so important. And I know Tia wants to ask a question, but I was talking to my son who has a couple of restaurants here in North Carolina, full advertisement. That's one of them, Full City Burger and Brewery. And he said, Dad, I joined the corporation called Three Ps and took me a year to get qualified. And I go, well, what is Three Ps? He said, first is people, next is planet, and the third comes profit. Well, wow, what a great concept. People, planet, and profit. Obviously, a business has to make a profit because they can't pay their employees to stay in business. But his is more important to establish joy and happiness so people can buy things and have a good life and also to preserve the planet. So important for us to look at. To you, go ahead.
Yes, my question is everything, you've taught me this, everything begins with a thought, whether it's a corporation, whether it's a big business, or whether it's what we choose to do for ourselves. So when we get caught up in the chaos, can you give us some suggestions on how we can stop that and come up with a better thought for ourselves?
Absolutely, we can. And I'll be glad to do it. Well, we can watch the ostriches, and when they get annoyed, they stick their head in the sand and don't want to hear anything. Of course, we can do that one. I don't know how we'll breathe. But more importantly, when you hear something, observe your body, how you react to it. Is it a sigh of relief? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Or some other emotion? And the next thing is why is that affecting me? That's so important. We're so sensitive that people are not really, they're always looking for something negative. What's the real reason? Why are they saying this to me? They can't see the forest for trees that it may be a compliment. Or when I was in marketing and sales, I used to say, don't tell me what I'm doing right. I know what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. And I wasn't offended because I wanted to be able to help my clients, my customers, a lot better. And I knew if I made them happy and made them more successful, then, I will become more successful. So I was codependent upon them for success. You are codependent on success based on your thoughts. And what you have to say, why am I reacting this way? Why am I angry because they said this or that? Next question is, what am I to learn from this? Maybe it's to learn that this is someone's opinion. You can respect it and honor it, but you don't have to believe in it. And if your button is being pushed, it can only be pushed if you feel that you have been insulted, hurt, or demeaned. But more importantly, if you're angry at that person, you're really angry at yourself because you put yourself in that position to have your button pushed. So next time you'll think about that and go, no, I'm not going to put myself in that position. Therefore, what do you think of this or what do you think of that? And you can say, well, that's interesting. Thank you very much for explaining that. And then you can determine yourself that makes sense or no, my belief system is this way. But we have to honor ourselves. We have to honor everybody's opinion. Honor, I said, didn't say agree. Honor their opinion. Those are their thoughts. So many times I talk to people and they are frightened and they're afraid. So when someone gives an opinion about something, are they frightened or are they afraid or are they sharing what their belief is? Forget whether it's fact, it's if their belief. Now, the belief could be a fact, however, it's their belief. So, if supposing they say, "Oh, I like Chevrolets, they're the greatest car ever." Maybe Chevys are great cars. Is that a fact? No, that's their opinion. And you can discern, well, they are great cars, but I like Ford better or whatever. We used to have Ford, Chevy, all those different cars. In my day, we talked about which was a better car. But it all depended upon the person and their opinion. That's what it depended upon. So, what is really right for me? What is my belief system? The next thing is when you hear something and you're really, let's say, angry or disturbed, or you want to find out it's this fact from fiction, so easy. Or you go to sleep at night, ask the true source for the gift to be able to discern a sign whether this is right or wrong, or it applies to you. And ask every night. And I remember I had a client, and she said, well, it involved a relationship, and she said she would like a sign. Okay. And she said that she lives in northern Idaho, and she wanted a sign to see dragonflies. Well, I said, "Do you see a lot of dragonflies where you live?" "No, I don't see a lot of them where I live either, here in Washington." She took a picture in the sky. There were two dragonflies flying near her on her phone. Two. And her mother said, she said, "We don't see those." Then one flew right by her nose. I said, "Well, I hope I'm making the right decision." I said, "You asked for a sign. You chose dragonflies. Why are you doubting? This is the sign you asked for." So we have that right. We have that power, that strength from our soul to get a sign. Don't misinterpret the sign. Black and white. You saw the dragonflies, period. Well, were they here by mistake? Does that normally happen? You asked for it. And I reiterate the time when I was in Boston asking if I should move out here, and I asked for a sign. Sign I couldn't misunderstand. Well, several days later, I was going up the ramp to the southeast distress way because of traffic. Car cuts me off. And I looked at the license plate. And when I get cut off, I usually look at the car or who's driving it, but not at the license plate. Washington State. And I asked for a sign I couldn't misunderstand. Here goes the analytical, logical mind, ego. Well, you got cut off. It's a sign that you shouldn't go there. No, I asked for a sign I couldn't misunderstand. What other way could it happen? I had to be cut off. So here I am. Best move I ever made. That's what you need to understand. When you ask for something, when you want the gift of discernment, then it is given to you. May not be the answer you want to hear, but you asked for it. So don't blame me. I gave you what you wanted to know. You got the gift. And then our ego steps in, or your analogical mind, and then you got to debate it. Then you got to think about it. Then you want another answer, and another answer, and another answer. So you get the one your ego wants you to hear. I remember one time there was a client of mine, and actually a student, and she wanted to do talking books. Those are the time when you put a little tape or CD in your car, and it was books, recordings of books. So we said, okay. So she came to me for an intuitive reading. Yep, it's going to be successful. And her husband, by the way, wanted to buy a boat. And then she asked for another sign. Then she went to 7 psychics, and all 7 said it'll be successful. She said, I went to 7 psychics, including you, Michael, and they're all wrong because the 8th one got it right, said it wouldn't be successful. I went, wow, 7 out of 8, that's pretty good odds. If you're a betting person, I would bet that. That's pretty cool. Nope, nope. So she was looking for an answer because she didn't want to put up with her husband who wanted a boat instead of starting a new business. So this is how we manipulate things. She got the answers over and over again, but still wanted to test it. You can ask for more and more signs, but you have to understand you are at a precipice at this time in this planet that you can create whatever you so desire. Do you want to create truth? What's best for your soul, for your family? Or do you want to let your ego run and control and manipulate you? Because that's what's happening now. So many souls are ego and they're trying to control and manipulate their life. Why are you trying to control and manipulate your life when you are seeking what you are in harmony and balance with, your direction in your life, and joy and happiness? Why? The truth of the matter is, before you incarnated here, you wrote the script of your life. You think your life was meant to suffer, be harmful, dangerous, sick, ill? You think that's what you wrote, to be homeless? No, no, you didn't. You may have created that in your life because of lack of self worth, self love, and self esteem. Or you may create chaos. So here we are in the land of chaos, which is now being created all over this planet. And you have the power to make a difference. What I'm saying to all of you is don't fall into all the chaos. Use that gift of discernment. Ask for a sign. Realize that everything around you, you may not be in control of, but you are in control of your every moment, every day, every second of your life by asking for true inner source guidance, soul guidance, and realize that you are making a difference. And you can only make a difference if you listen to your soul and realize all this chaos, I don't have to be part of it. All I have to do is do the right thing. So think about that, everyone. And I want to share with you that something is very dear to my heart and very important. And that is the second Tuesday of every evening from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 Pacific time. We have what we call Soul Awakening. And you call in, we'll give you the information. You can ask any question you so desire. Hopefully, I can answer that. And then I will leave a 10-minute little message for each one of you. That's on freeconferencecall.com. It's old school, as somebody would say, because it's done on the phone. But as I said, you can be in your pajamas. No one will ever know. Tia, will you give them that information?
Absolutely. The Tuesday night call in is 202-926-1059. And the access code, Michael?
125-446-pound.
One more time on the number 202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. Also using the same code, same telephone number, the second Saturday of every month, we have what I call Mass Consciousness Healing. And that goes from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time. And understanding that between 9:55 and 11:01, the first 5 minutes, what happens is we talk for a few minutes, we introduce ourselves. And then afterwards, we go into a deep meditation and we become a conduit. We are the conduit for the true sources of unconditional love. You will feel a frequency and an energy and vibration of love in your body. It's fantastic. And then it covers the whole planet with this unconditional love. And then by 11:01, we're done. Actually, 3 or 4 minutes before, and make sure you're conscious, back in your body, play a little music, and we repeat this the following month on the second Saturday. So here's that information to you.
That number is also 202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. Everyone, I encourage you to spread the word because we really need to make a difference. Because nothing negative can live in the energy of love. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Also, something that's very dear to my heart is that I call it the replays or reruns. And that is the 10-minute messages that I give on Soul Awakening or these messages. You can go and listen to most of them on Dr. Michael B. Gross YouTube. And there's a couple of years of them. And we have a beautiful photograph of some of the words of wisdom from the true source and a beautiful picture behind it, a photograph taken by the award-winning photographer, Tia Knapp. You're really beautiful. All these messages that I give you on Tuesday evening, and they're 394.95. You can listen to on freeconferencecall.com. You're angry, you're upset, you had a rough day, you're stuck in traffic, or maybe you had a bad time with your boss or your children. Never with your spouse, though. And you can just turn around and play this, listen to it on your phone, in your car, or when you're meditating or whatever you so desire to do. Just do that. And if you would do that, you'll find that, well, Michael, it goes from number three, it talks about, and you said to 394 or 5. What number? What's the best one for me? They're not labeled. And I realized I forgot to label them. True Source said, no, you didn't. Michael, you want to read through 394 labels or message labels? Just trust your soul. So if you desire to listen to 247, I get a phone call. Michael, just what I needed to hear. And so I want to share that with you. I also want to share something really special. And I created a CD. And in the CD, I created Raising Your Vibrations. And there are a couple of other messages. But I'd like to gift you all of these. And it's the sound of rushing water. I make it a 20-second introduction. And there are different messages. But the first one, Raising Your Vibrations, is almost 59 minutes long. Well, here's what I suggest. Play it at night when you go to sleep on your phone or computer. I don't like the sound of rain and rushing water when I'm trying to sleep, because you know why? It makes you go to the bathroom more than you think. So one of the things is I put it on mute. I've had some of my students who were working at Boeing when I produced this years ago, and they would play it when there was a lot of chaos going on in Boeing. They played on their phone on mute, and the management would come in upset, and then a minute later they'd calm down and had a great conversation. And I get a call. It works. It works. They all relax. Raising your vibration. What does that really mean? It means connecting with your soul, with the true source. What are you connecting with? LOVE, love. Nothing negative can live in love. So if you would go to Dr. Michael Gross 7 at gmail.com, put in your information. I'll be more than happy to forward you how you can do this. You can do this all over the world. It will make a difference. I play it every evening. It represents true sources of vibration, frequency, and energy. I don't know, somewhere between 4 and 5 hours of bringing that energy into the CD, which is now into Spotify. That's how much I care about you. More importantly, that's how much the true source cares about you. So I'd like to offer you that gift. So think about it. And if you have a problem with it, just text me or leave a message and my email, and I'll be glad to help you with the telephone number. Because I don't like writing 4 or 5 paragraphs. Much easier to verbalize it with you. Go ahead to you.
Right. Going back, I'm going to back up a minute, because going back to the recordings that you talked about, that is a different phone number.
Yes.
And I'll go ahead and give it to you now. It's 434-300-4170. And the access code, Michael?
125-446 pound. One more time, please.
Absolutely. It's 434-300-4170. And the access code, Michael?
125-446 pound.
And one more thing, Michael, before we forget. Do you offer anyone something special other than what you've already said?
Thank you. Also, I offer for those who are new a complimentary 20-minute, half-hour little consultation. And any questions you have, hopefully I can answer them and help you to discern your direction or pain or healing in your life. Because all of us are a sponge. In other words, we absorb all the energy within our body. And if you don't think so, think about some discomfort in your body. For example, I'm not going to enumerate. If you have a pain in your back, it really is, the pain is you're carrying a heavy emotional problem in your life, or you're worried about money. But I'll add one more little antidote because I got your attention. And so I had a client come to me and he had a back problem. And he had a moving company. And I said, okay, let's take a look. And I worked with him and his soul. Found out somewhere around, oh, I'm going to say 1840, 1850. He had a wagon and he had a team of 6 horses, a big, huge wagon. And he moved furniture or moved hay or wheat or whatever it was. He had like a freight company. And the horse, he was in front of the horses, and the horses got spooked and ran over his back, and he had a back problem, 1850 or 60. Once he understood that, he released that energy from it, and he brought into this lifetime, because he's also in a moving company today, but with trucks. And this is serious. 5 minutes later, the pain went away and never came back. And he had to learn something about that. And I'm not going to go into what he had to learn, but it was over and done with. Our body's a sponge. Everything we've done in the past lives and current life, our soul has recorded. So why not free yourself from any of the hindrances, blocks from a past life, or whatever your limited belief is in this lifetime, to find freedom and joy and happiness? Just a thought. So thank you for letting me share that. Also, 3 more minutes, and that is the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. We call it TICE, T-I-I-C-E. I'm sorry, TIISE, TICE, and that means the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. And it's all about helping abused women, children, and men find a job, an entrepreneur, become financially independent and healthy and strong. And that's what we're gearing up to, which will be probably after the first of the year. We'll have all the kinks worked out, then we'll be tweaking it as time goes by. I just wanted to tell you all that. And if you wish to make a donation, we would appreciate it. Tio and I have been working on it for some time, and we don't draw salaries. We haven't taken any money out of it except for maybe some of the things we have to register for the state as a nonprofit and so on and so forth, and maybe a minor $50 here for something the corporation needed. Anyway, so if you're interested, we appreciate your donation. And Tio is director of the International Institute of Self-Empowerment Division of Abused Women, Children, and Men, and helping them become entrepreneurs. And that's because she wrote a great book, and the book she wrote was Healing the Holes in Your Soul, and it's all about finding your freedom, your soul, your joy, and your happiness, because her motto is, she is a whispering warrior, and teaching you to be a whispering warrior, because you are unlimited. Buy this
Thank
book.
you.
It's life-changing.
Thank you, Michael. But I highly recommend that you begin with this book, okay? This is Dr. Michael Gross's second edition of the Spiritual Primer. He has even more golden nuggets in here. And if it wasn't for this book and this amazing gentleman sitting virtually right next to me, the book he's holding wouldn't even be in existence, okay? He has done so much to help me that I value this book as priceless. It's worth way more than all the money in the world because it gave me my life. He gave me my life. He woke up my soul. And I will cherish this for an eternity and pass it to whoever is diligently desiring it, really. I could go on and on and on, but because of time, I just want to say I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank everybody for supporting us. Please share this amazing opportunity to meet Dr. Michael Gross on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock, because the only way you get this book right now is if you contact him in the contact information below. Email him, because they've all sold out on Amazon except for one. Michael, you might want to share that story really quick. So if you connect with him or me, he will sign a copy of this for you and we will get it out in the mail for you, okay? And the same with my book too, but start here. I highly recommend it. So Michael, do you have anything else to add before we go? We really do value
The one
time.
book you reference to is a used book, and it's being sold for $500. Gee, you can buy it for me for $31, including shipping. What a bargain. Well, anyway, thank you for joining us. Please spread the word. Join us Tuesday evenings. Join us again on Thursday and the second Saturday of every month. And realize that you are unlimited. We love you all. We thank you. Namaste. Take care,
Namaste.
everyone. We love you.
We love you. Thank you so much.